Woohoo!
If you could change any choice you have ever made, would you? You can always make another choice and change the course of your success. Everyone has the potency to make inspired choices. Get ready to listen, share, and experience the creativity that is you. Now, here is the host of the Inspired Choices Show, business optimization expert, Christine McIver.
That's right. That's me, Christine McIver. Welcome, everyone, wherever you're listening from. If you're listening live and you're here at Inspired Choices Network, be sure to join us in the chat room. Really happy to see everyone here. If you're on Facebook, you can interact with the live on Facebook until about 15 minutes, and then you can join us here on the network. Or if you're in TikTok, you can definitely make comments there or come and join us here at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com. I have got a show that I'm very excited about tonight because I think that I certainly did what I'm going to point to. And I think that also many of you have probably done this as well. So this show, Inspired Choices, is all about following what you feel inside, what really speaks to you, making the choices that support you and making the choices that really are going to move you forward. Primarily, we talk all about business, and a lot of what I share you can absolutely apply to your own life and relationships, all sorts of areas of your life. So I'm excited. Tonight's show is, do you support your own vision? So before we get started, let me tell you a little bit about myself. I am a business optimization expert. I work with entrepreneurs to really bring their business into a level that they've never been at before. And it doesn't matter what level of business you have. If you're just starting out, if you're thinking about starting out, it's actually sometimes easier if you haven't begun your business, because we kind of don't have to go and fix things. Or if you've been in business for 10 years and you're ready to take it to the next level. When you're working with a coach and when you're working with me, I am going to do everything I can to execute on your desires, because nothing lights me up and gives me more hope for what we can do in the world is when I see other people in their own businesses really make quantum leaps. And together, when we're doing that, we are making such a positive impact in the world. We are bringing hope to the world. We are bringing economy to the world. We're bringing new jobs to other people. When you start your own business, it's one of the greatest contributions that you can be making in the world. And it's easier than you think to start your own business. But when you have someone to hold you accountable and guide you with years of what they know to do, like myself, it certainly makes it a lot easier. So if you would like to know more about what I do, I have a strategic business package where I work one-on-one with you. It's a specialty package, and we really lay out what you need to be doing and what you desire to do and put all of the bells and whistles in place to make that happen. So you can contact me, Christine, at inspiredchoices.ca, or you can find me pretty much anywhere on the internet and you can send me a message. All right, let's jump into tonight's show. So we're talking all about your vision. Do you support your own vision? So this is what's happened for most people. You had a vision for what you desired. You began to move forward with that desire. And you even laid out all the micro steps of how to begin to make that vision come to life. And then it happened. And you stopped creating your vision and you began to question every single aspect of your vision. How many of you have actually had that happen? How many of you can identify with, oh yeah, I remember when I really wanted to do that and then it happened? Whatever it is. It may be self-judgment. It may be, oh, somebody else did it and I didn't think anybody else was doing it. It may be your belief around you're crappy at it. Everybody's doing it better than me. Fill in whatever has occurred for you in the it. And I'm going to tell you, the it is bullshit. So we're going to really dig into that tonight, because you know what, my friends, when you are willing to support your own vision, you can make magic happen. You can move mountains. And usually what's between your ears is what's actually stopping you. So let's get into it. So first of all, I'd like you to define vision and what what really comes up for you when you think about the word vision? I want to also talk about the word dream and the word visions, because a lot of people use those words interchangeably, and they're actually not the same. So the word dream is a sequence of sensations or images passing through the mind of a sleeping person. Now, many of us use the word, oh, I just want to follow my dreams. And then we have these ideas that come in. But the real dream is when you are in a less mind thinking space and these ideas start to come to fruition and you start to get really excited about something. And then you kind of get present again, right? And when you get present again, you may still be excited, or you may tap into your brain and then start talking yourself out of it. So there is a definite difference with the dream. Now, let's say you are still very excited about the dream. That's when you move into the vision. So the vision is really, the vision is, in this instance, is what you have dreamt about, and now you see it in your waking mind, and it has the energy of yes. You are like, oh my gosh, I can see it. I can feel it. I can, I really want to move in that direction. I'm excited about it. So that's your vision. Now, of course, there's many different, there's many different stages of a vision, and we're not going to get into that so much tonight, but I really want you to understand the difference between a dream and a vision. And this was a very cool definition of the word dream, and it's a sleeping vision. Isn't that neat? So when you think of your dream, it's your sleeping vision coming to you. And the best thing to do is, as soon as you wake up or kind of just become very, very present, write those dreams down, write them down, because that is oftentimes your inner self communicating with you and saying, yes, you can do this, really giving you information. So if you've ever been asking, I don't know what to do, you do. You just don't know what you know. And this is the space where you can begin to figure out what you do know and what really lights you up. More often than not, when you are thinking, you are actually going to start talking yourself out of it more and more and more and more and more. And it's a shame, because it holds us back so long. And I know I did that. I've had many clients that they've had a desire to do something, and they constantly are looking for ways that they can't, right? It's the space where our mind is trying to protect us. And that's our mind's job. Our mind's job is supposed to protect us. That was definitely many thousands of years ago, when we needed protection, when we didn't have the evolved mind that we have today. Now, on one instance, we have the evolved mind, and on the other instance, that mind is taking over. And when does the mind take over? The mind takes over when you're in doubt, when you're in fear, when you start to buy everything that's going on out there in the world and all the people that are successful, when you buy the lie that they're better than you. If you were on this planet by yourself, and it would be boring, but if you were on this planet by yourself and you came into the awareness of what really lights you up, there would be nothing that stops you, because you wouldn't have that comparison. You wouldn't have that doubt come up to the degree that it comes up now. And so I've said this on many shows. I would really love for you to stop looking at what everyone else is doing. Stop comparing what you're doing to someone else. Here on Inspired Choices Network, this is actually my business as well, if you didn't know that. And one of the things that I say over and over and over again is, if there were two of us hosts here on the network, and we did the exact same show, we had the exact same script. We don't use scripts, but if we did have a script, and we did the exact same show with the exact same script, the energy of that show would be very different from each other's, because each of us are different. And the energy that we show up with it has a different vibration, and people will hear my show and they won't hear the other person's show at all. It won't interest them, and they won't be attracted to it logically or consciously or unconsciously. And the same is true vice versa. They will never be attracted to mine, but they would be blown away by the other person. That is because you are a unique energy. Just like your fingerprint is a unique fingerprint, your energy is a unique print as well. And so if you can understand that when you're comparing yourself to others, you're not comparing apples to apples. If you're a shoemaker and you compare your shoes to someone else, you're actually not comparing apples to apples, or in this case, shoes to shoes, because they're not the same. They can't be the same. You're not a machine. The other person's not a machine. You haven't both been calibrated exactly the same way. And the same is true even if you're in the same family. Siblings are very different because each and every one of us come into these bodies with our own energy, our own signature. So my very first invitation to you is, would you be willing to stop looking outside of you and comparing to what you should be doing, how you should be doing it, what pricing you should be giving it, when you should show up, when you shouldn't show up, all of the pieces. Would you be willing to stop looking outside of you? And it's tough. I mean, we live online. That's the world that we live in today. But like, if you think about the inventors, the first inventors, let's say 100 years ago, they weren't the first inventors, but let's just say 100 years ago, the first inventor of a phone, he didn't know somebody else was inventing a phone. He didn't know. The only way he knew something was if he went down the road or he went into town, right? He only knew where he could actually be in person with someone to understand what was going on. And we were actually at an advantage then. When you think about the artists, when you think about the writers, when you think about the painters, the sculptures, they were at an advantage to really just tap into that message that was inside of them because they didn't have other people to look to. And we're at a disadvantage today. So you have to be willing to turn that off and get more in touch with who you are, get more in touch with what is going on within you, so that you can bring out what you've come here to be and do. And when you do, it's so exciting. You're more brilliant than you've been willing to give yourself credit for. And you're more capable than you've ever even understood. And personally, I've been in my own business now for, oh my gosh, like 14 years. And I feel like every year I feel like, oh my God, it's been that long. And yet I still am discovering new things about who I am and what I'm creating and how I want to show up in the world and what I am learning about myself. That's one of the best things about being in your own business is you learn more and more and more about yourself than you ever do when you're working for somebody else, because you really have to dig deep, and it can be challenging. It can sometimes be painful. And it can be one of the most up-leveling places if you're willing to lean in than you've ever been in before. So let's get back into about the dream and the vision. So the next word that I want you to lean into and I want you to ask yourself is, tell me, what does support look like for you? Define what support looks like for you. Because when we think about support, we may think about it on different levels. And it's very important that when you start to look at what support means for you, that you've got that definition very much in front of you. Okay. These bases they set the stage for you moving forward into looking at whether you are supporting your vision or not. Now, I'll tell you something right now. With many of the clients that I've worked with, most people will reach out to a coach when they're struggling. Most people will reach out to a coach when they are nearly ready to give up and they feel like they're at a massive loss. That's so unfortunate, because a coach can be somebody that takes you to the next level like you wouldn't believe. Don't just wait until you're desperate. Absolutely have somebody to take you to that next level, to really up level you. But most people are reaching out when they're ready to give up. And most of them, that especially clients that I've worked with, they want to know that there is hope. And I want to tell you, there's always hope. If you're willing to do what it takes to keep moving forward and to challenge yourself to grow, then there is hope. But this is where you have to really look at, are you supporting your own vision? Are you willing to do what it takes to support your own vision? And this doesn't mean working around the clock. This doesn't mean exhausting yourself. This doesn't mean giving up your life. This means being very clear about what it looks like and stepping into it. Okay, we have got a lot more for you tonight. We are going to go for our first break. Stick around, my friends. If you're on Facebook, definitely come on over to inspiredchoicesnetwork.com. In the chat room, everybody on TikTok, you can join us as well, where you can interact, ask questions, and make statements. I can't wait to see you after the break. This is Inspired Choices. I'm your host, Christine McIver. We're on the Inspired Choices Network. We'll be right back.
Many of us make choices based on our past experiences or based on what others believe. What would our lives be like if we made our choices based on what we desire for our futures? When you join the Inspired Choices show with business optimization expert Christine McIver, you'll be provoked to look at what is true and what you know, but may not choose, that requires your attention. Christine does not hold back. She brings all her expertise to every show. Are you ready to create and live the life you truly desire? Listen for Inspired Choices every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Are you a subject matter expert? Are you here to share your expertise with an audience waiting to hear from you in only the way you can deliver? Are you ready to have your voice amplified across the airwaves? Inspired Choices Network has a global radio platform streaming to millions of people across the world. Professionally produced and supported by an accomplished team every step of the way, you can broadcast from anywhere in the world, knowing your voice matters, and we ensure it is delivered with ease and efficiency. Eager to hear your message, the world awaits. Contact us today to become an Inspired Choices Network radio host. Email becomeahost@inspiredchoicesnetwork.com.
This is the Inspired Choices Show with business optimization expert Christine McIver. To participate in the program, join our live studio audience in our chat room at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to Christine@inspiredchoices.ca. Now, back to the program.
Hello, my friends. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Tonight we are talking all about support. Not a bra, not stay up underwear, stay up underwear. Wonder where that came from. We are talking about supporting your own vision. Do you actually truthfully support your own vision? Many people aren't. Many people are flying by the seat of their pants, hoping to goodness that they just make it through. And this is something that we need to be changing. We need to be looking at exactly what it is that we are desiring. We need to be stepping into those dreams, and we need to be bringing that into a vision, laying it out and following it. You came here for a reason. You didn't just show up in this body and land on this planet for no reason. You came here for a reason. We're not going to talk deeply about that tonight, but I want you to know that this was not random, and you are not just a random, bunch of molecules put together to see what comes out of it. No, you came here with a vision. You came here with a purpose, and you have skills and you have awarenesses that no one else has, but you've got to be willing to have your back and really support your vision. So this is the next question, because I really kind of got into kind of the base of the definition of the words, which I often do in the first segment, and that's a very important piece to look at. But now I want to jump into about the visioning. So tell me, and I want you to tap into a vision that you had, that you probably still have, but maybe are ignoring. I want you to tap into a vision, and I want you to look at what your thoughts, your emotions, and what the energy was that you were being when that vision came to you. Can you go back and tap into that? This is before you shared it with anyone else. This is before you started to do any of the steps. I want you to tap into those thoughts and those emotions and the energy of what you were being when that vision came to you. I am going to guess that most people would have been extremely excited, really pumped up. They would have been in this energy of possibilities and ready to move quickly. Their body would have been vibrating on a different level. This is exactly what you need to be in and need to be very aware of the messages that your body was giving you when that vision came to you. Now, I'll tell you, when the idea of doing a show, so I started out, I've had my show for many years. I started my own radio show was the first before I went into TV and podcasting. But my very first show, it was 2011. And when I was first contacted and asked if I'd ever thought about doing a show, what actually came up for me was I before I had words come out of me, my entire body shook. I've never had since then an experience where my body was speaking to me. My body was telling me the excitement. My body wanted to be so loud and so clear that I couldn't say no to the opportunity. It was the most profound experience I have ever had. And I would liken it to, I don't know, when people have a stress reaction, that there's a shaking, but it was this shaking of excitement. It was this energy of just, I wanted to jump up and be so involved in the opportunity, and my body was telling me yes. So when I did start that show, obviously, and when I started that show, my very first experience with that show, I was inexperienced. I had never done a show. I didn't know what that was going to look like. I had no idea what to expect. And when I did it, I was excited, grateful, overwhelmed, nervous, and I actually cried for the first 15 minutes of that show. And I was able to get through it, pulled myself together. I was able to get through it. And I can tell you, yes, I was all the things, as my producer Kim says. And at the end of that experience, at the end of that show, I could have very easily given up and said, look, I suck at this. There's no way I can do it. That was ridiculous. I'm embarrassed. You know, all the things that we say when we're not perfect. You're never going to be perfect, so get over it. But what I did in that moment afterwards, when I kind of got myself together and I was really looking at it, I tapped back into that moment and I went, but it was a hell yes. Like, there was no way I couldn't continue. I couldn't do this. And the excitement that followed when I started to create the show and move forward, it was a vision that I couldn't give up on. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? Like, it's something that I could not take my eyes off of. My body was not going to let me. My body kept giving me messages. Yes, keep going, keep going. Now, I did not have the idea of being a producer, of having a broadcasting platform, of being on TV, of having a global presence, of having people that I'm working with all over the world, of having the impact that I am having, my team is having, and all these hosts are having. I had no idea. But guess what? There was something inside of me that knew this is your path. Keep going with that vision. And what happened was my vision kept unfolding and kept unfolding when I kept saying yes to it. Now, you want to go back and listen to last week's show, because we were talking about the 7 stages of choice. And that is such an important thing to understand, all that those levels of choice. And this is where I kept choosing. I kept saying yes. And the universe kept bringing me more opportunities because I was open to them. I was open to my vision continuing to grow. And one of the questions that I ask all of the time is what else? Show me what else. Show me what else. Show me what else. Right. Sorry, I'm all over the place. So we've got some questions in the chat room. So Karen says, I don't think I ever experienced that. Well, you may not have experienced it the way that I've experienced it, but you may have experienced things repeating, right? Coming back around to you, or you keep seeing them. Think of the universe as one of the best marketers out there, right? That the ads just keep coming up and they keep coming up. You keep getting reminders. You keep getting messages in some way that this is something for you to look at, for you to keep looking at. And if you ask your body to communicate with you, it will. Okay. So now she says, okay, yes, being a speaker keeps coming back. Exactly. So when these things that keep coming back up, I want you to pull the thread on that. Pull the thread, which means keep following it. Follow it, and ask your body and ask the universe and ask your business and the vision to show you. Show me, is this something that we still should be choosing? Is this part of our purpose here? Keep asking for the support, both from the non-energy world, as well as coaches, as well as people that know you when you go out there, and in Karen's case, as a speaker, right? We are our own worst critics, and that's where we give up supporting our vision. And it's a sad thing to see people give up on their vision, because their visions are so, so important. And Kim said, you mean you couldn't see all the steps? No, I couldn't see all the steps. I could only see about, just having my own show. When I first started, all I could see was showing up each week and doing my show. And I didn't know what other possibilities could be involved in that. And those things kept, unpacking over and over and over again over the years. I started my own business in 2008 and started my own show in 2011. And here I am, in my 12th year of having my own show. I can't even believe all of the shows that I have ever done. Like the idea of speaking this many times on different topics. There's no way. But you know what? My business keeps communicating with me around what to discuss and what to bring to the table. And it's such a blessing to be able to do this. And I mean, I just feel so incredibly blessed that these keep coming and coming. All right, let's get back to talking about support. Let me ask you this question. If there was someone in your life that needed your support, that really needed your support, if you're a parent, how many people out there are parents? Or you have a best friend, and maybe they have a vision, they have a dream. If they asked for your support, or they felt like giving up on their dream or their vision, what would you say to them? What would you be doing? Would you be right there cheering them on? Would you show them how they can believe in themselves more? Would you be someone there who was willing to support their dream? What about a child's dream, like a very young child? When a young child has a vision around something that they want to do, and they get so excited, and then things don't go exactly as they envisioned, right? Where are you with them on that? Are you there supporting their vision? If you're there for a child, if you're there for a friend, if you're there for a colleague, giving them support, you should be giving yourself that much support and more. You should be your own best friend. You should be your own best backer. You should be the voice in your head cheering you on. Today, I had some tasks to do, and this one task usually takes me about 20 minutes. And I was talking out loud to myself as I was doing it. Okay, come on, faster, faster. Okay, now do this, now do this. And I was cheering myself on. I had a vision of how quickly I could do it, and I did it. I'm my own best cheerleader, and I need to be, and so do you, because the one person you can count on, the one person you came here with, and the one person you're leaving here with, and the one person that has been dreaming these visions is you. You need to have your own back, because nobody can sense that vision the way you can. Nobody can imagine the possibilities the way you can when you are in that exciting energy. So you need to be willing to spend time with that. You need to be willing to envelop yourself in the energy of that original vision energy that you had after it came out of the dream state. Would you be willing to challenge yourself to turn it up and have your own back in a way that you've never had before? Would you? It's such an amazing thing, the gift that we can give ourselves when we are willing to have our own back. And I'm telling you, you can do it. I absolutely know you can. I've come out of deep depression. I've come out of financial struggles like you wouldn't believe. And I made a decision. I had a point in my life where I was going to turn left or I was going to turn right. And you know what? I turned right and I kept going. And I have my own back. That's not to say I don't have difficult days. We all have difficult days. But each day you want to recommit to that vision. You want to say yes again, knowing that it is possible. Anything is possible when you are willing to stand behind yourself and have your own back. And also put your hand up. Put your hand up when you need support from others. There are every single person in the world, in my interesting point of view, is willing to help others when they need help. Even people that don't get along, when somebody's in a really, really difficult place, they oftentimes can turn the other cheek and put a hand out and help somebody. Be willing to ask for the help and be willing to be there for yourself. It's time for you to focus more on yourself, because the fact of the matter is that when you take your vision to the next level and you are financially successful, you can make a greater impact in the world. You can bring more hope. You can bring food. You can bring water. You can bring shelter. You can bring kindness to the world with money. It's not the only way, but it is a powerful way. And I want to invite you to really go beyond we shouldn't focus on money. Yes, we should. We are on a planet where the commodity is money. We're not on the planet where giving hugs is the commodity. We are on a planet where money is the commodity. This is how we operate on planet Earth. Make more money and change the world. I don't mean make money at the expense of someone else. I'm saying bring what you have to the world and know that the universe is ready to gift more and more prosperity to you, including ideas, including kindness and financial wealth. All right, we've just blown past our second break. We're going to take it now. Stick around, my friends. You're listening to Inspired Choices. I'm your host, Christine McIver. We're on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com, and we will be right back.
Many of us make choices based on our past experiences or based on what others believe. What would our lives be like if we made our choices based on what we desire for our futures? When you join the Inspired Choices show with business optimization expert Christine McIver, you'll be provoked to look at what is true and what you know, but may not choose, that requires your attention. Christine does not hold back. She brings all her expertise to every show. Are you ready to create and live the life you truly desire? Listen for Inspired Choices every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
How wonderful would it be to carry your favorite Inspired Choices Network host with you throughout your day? Well, now you can. Inspired Choices Network now has its very own mobile app. Our free app offers live streaming shows, along with thousands of podcasts and TV episodes. Our shows cover a wide variety of topics. Whether you're waking up with us, carrying us through the day, and taking us to bed with you, we're always here for you to enjoy. We're easy to find. Just search for Inspired Choices Network in the Apple App Store or Google Play Store.
This is the Inspired Choices Show with business optimization expert Christine McIver. To participate in the program, join our live studio audience in our chat room at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to Christine@inspiredchoices.ca. Now, back to the program.
Hey, my friends, thank you so much for being here tonight. I'm having fun with this show. I hope you are too. We're talking all about dreaming and visioning and asking, really, do you support your own vision? Most of us give up on our own vision. We'll support someone else's, but we give up on ourselves. And we usually give up right before we're about to make a huge up level. I am telling you, I have worked with clients where they felt like, you know what, maybe I should just fold my business and, go back to working for somebody else. And honestly, when we stepped back from it, and we started to unpack it and really look at what they've been creating and the little bit more that's required to get them to the next level, it's changed the whole game. The exact same thing happened with me. I had been going along with my business and been doing things the same old way for several years. And someone said to me, and this was very, very funny, because how much do our egos get in the way? When I shared with this business person what I was doing, they didn't know me from Hill of Beans. She actually said to me, you have a business model problem. Well, my ego did not like this at all. And thankfully, I've gotten to the point to know, okay, just quiet that ego and just be present and listen. You can take what you want, you can leave the rest, but just be present when someone's giving you their time. And especially when someone that is successful already. And so I listened and I wrote out everything that she said. And 6 months later, I had completely changed my business. And I am telling you, my business has never been more successful than it is now. Never, because I was willing to change. But guess what? I still kept my vision. It was just the way that I was doing it. The vision itself stayed the same, actually got greater, but how I was doing it, the original, stayed the same, but it was really being willing to be challenged, to look at it. When you're in your own business, you're too close to it. You're too close to it and your ego gets in the way and you think, no, this is working. This has always been working. This is good. I don't want to have to do more work, blah, 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 blah. Shut up. Tell that brain of yours to shut up and be willing to ask more questions and tap into that vision. Be willing to tap into that vision. I have some very big visions and I am executing on them. I'm writing them down. I'm taking action on them every day to see what else I can do to get me there even faster. I love creating. I think it's so exciting. And yes, I get tired. And yes, I take days off. But it's because of the vision, because of the excitement. The momentum builds and builds and keeps me going. But I also work with coaches. I also ask professionals their opinion. I'm also willing to park my ego and really look at things that will move me in a greater direction. I'm kind to myself. I take care of my body. I take time for rest. I take time for fun. I do these things so that I don't get so intensified with what I'm creating that I become obsessed with it and I'm not enjoying it. I friggin' love what I do. And I have bad days, but I love what I do. And I love working with people that love what they do, but need support to go to the next level. You came to a planet where, you're not here alone. There's amazing people that have amazing contributions that they can bring to the table with you. If you're in your own business, look to other people that are in their own businesses and what they have that maybe would be an asset to you. Network, for goodness sake, network. Get out there and meet people. I have just recently joined 2 new networking groups where I'm meeting brand new people, and hearing what they're doing is exciting. What it does is it infuses new dreams, or reinfuses your dreams within you when you hear what other people are doing, and you get into that excitement energy. What are you feeding your vision? What are you feeding your vision? Are you feeding it worry? Are you feeding your vision heavy judgment? Are you feeding your vision, that was just a pipe dream. That was just, I can't do that. Yes, you can. There are people every day that are taking their dreams and bringing them into a vision, and they are bringing it to the world, and they are executing it on, and it's growing and growing. What if you're wrong? What if you're wrong and you can actually make your visions come true? If you would just support it 10% more, if you would just spend some time with it. When you hire a coach, that is supporting your dream, right? Maybe you have a dream of having a really successful marriage, and right now the marriage isn't great. When you hire a counselor, a coach that specializes in marriage and relationships, that is supporting that vision. When you have a vision of having a happy family life and having happy children, and you take courses in parenting and you read books, that's supporting that vision. There are many ways to support your vision. We're talking a lot about business tonight, but all of this can be applied to anything that's on your heart. But you are the one that has to support this. You could have cheerleaders, you could have people that really love what you're doing and they're giving you the rah, but if at the end of the day, when you are going to bed at night and you're thinking about your vision, and you wake up in the morning and you're thinking about your vision and what you had intended to do, and you've got this flat ho-hum energy around it, well, like, if that was a partner, your partner would be like, I'm not really feeling the love here. Hello? Your business is your partner, and your visions that you're having is the dance. They're your babies in this relationship with your business. These visions that you have, all of your dreams and your visions are here to contribute to you. But it's a mutual relationship where you each have to be having each other's back. Your visions are asking for your attention, especially if different things keep showing up, talking to you, like our guest in the chat room said about speaking, that vision keeps showing up in different opportunities or different things that she's seeing online. Yeah, that's your baby asking for attention. So what are you doing today to support your vision? Just even do something as simple as this. On a scale of 1 to 10, pick out one vision you have. On a scale of 1 to 10, where are you at with supporting that vision? What's the first number that pops up? 1 being, yeah, I'm just about packed it in, and 10 being, there is nothing stopping me. Where are you at with that vision? Tap into that number. Be honest with yourself. Be willing to be brutally vulnerable with yourself. And no matter where you are, whether you're at a 1 or you're at a 10, would you be willing to turn it up 10%? Would you be willing to do one more thing to make that vision a reality and have fun doing it? Imagine if you actually had fun creating your vision. When you are actually seeking to have fun and pleasure with your vision, and it's like a game to you, there's a different energy to it. It starts to show up with more ease for you. You're not in that worry energy. When you're in worry energy, you contract. And when you contract, you're cutting off awarenesses. You're cutting off other possibilities. You're missing receiving that can bring your vision to the next level. Don't do that. Have fun and allow yourself to open up to receive. Open up to receive awarenesses, open up to receive people in your life, open up to having conversations of different possibilities. Your vision is here to contribute to you. Are you willing to contribute to you? Are you willing to take your vision up 10%? Imagine if you took your vision up 10% today, October the 26th, 2022. 1 year from now, your vision will be greater than it is today. 1 month from now, your vision will be greater than it is today. The opportunities are within you. You've got to be willing to hold yourself accountable to do this work, though. You really have. And you've got to be willing to come out of the pity party, come out of the sadness, come out of the worry. Those things that we easily can fall back into are not serving you. If you're in worry, if you're in upset, if things are challenging and you're struggling, it's completely understandable. You don't grow in the comfort zone. You grow in difficult times. I don't know anybody that hasn't been in those times. But here's the thing, my friends, if you would be willing to really look at this and really change this for yourself and bookend that worry, bookend those fears, take 1 day and be with that energy and then hold yourself accountable to stop that. At the end of that day, when you go to bed, make a deal with yourself that when I wake up in the morning, I'm starting again. I'm hitting the reset button and I'm going to move forward because I am worth it. And I didn't come this far to come this far. I'm going to have my vision. I'm going to have my vision come through. It's totally possible, but you've got to be willing to have your own back and hold yourself accountable. And working with a coach, they can help you to do both of those. I'm a big proponent of coaches because I know that the difference that they have made in my life, and I know the difference that I've made with my skills in other people's lives. I can see people in their own businesses happy. I can see them in new relationships joyful. I can see them growing and expanding. And I know that I was part of that vision. And that is amazing. And I am here for it. I am here to support people to move them forward. But you've got to be willing to step into it too. All right, we're up to our last break. Stick around. We still got a little bit more for you. You're listening to Christine McIver on the Inspired Choices show here on the Inspired Choices Network. We'll be right back, my friends.
Many of us make choices based on our past experiences or based on what others believe. What would our lives be like if we made our choices based on what we desire for our futures? When you join the Inspired Choices show with business optimization expert Christine McIver, you'll be provoked to look at what is true and what you know, but may not choose, that requires your attention. Christine does not hold back. She brings all her expertise to every show. Are you ready to create and live the life you truly desire? Listen for Inspired Choices every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Are you a subject matter expert? Are you here to share your expertise with an audience waiting to hear from you in only the way you can deliver? Are you ready to have your voice amplified across the airwaves? Inspired Choices Network has a global radio platform streaming to millions of people across the world. Professionally produced and supported by an accomplished team every step of the way, you can broadcast from anywhere in the world, knowing your voice matters, and we ensure it is delivered with ease and efficiency. Eager to hear your message, the world awaits. Contact us today to become an Inspired Choices Network radio host. Email becomeahost@inspiredchoicesnetwork.com.
This is the Inspired Choices Show with business optimization expert Christine McIver. To participate in the program, join our live studio audience in our chat room at InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to Christine@inspiredchoices.ca. Now, back to the program.
Oh, wow. These shows seem to go faster and faster. The more excited I am, they go faster and faster. You know, when you love what you do, time really does go very, very quickly. And who doesn't love to have a good time? You should be doing something that gives you the joy that I have, that many people have in their own businesses. And I'm telling you, you find that when you follow that inner knowing. Spend some time dreaming. Write down your dreams, spend some time in playful thought, lay there with your eyes closed and really lay out that vision and be with that. Spend some time in that space. That's your play space. And everybody should be playing. Everybody should be willing to receive that so that they too can have more and more in their lives, and they can bring those visions to the world and have so much fun and so much prosperity doing it. It's so, so important. The last thing that I want to touch on, and I want to ask you a question. And when it came to me, I thought, wow, okay, that's a pretty big question. So tell me what you think of this. What if you had 1 year left to do your business? 1 year was left. You couldn't do it after 365 days from today. And at the end of the year, if you gave it everything you had, you would receive $1 million for hitting your targets. Hitting your targets. Would you have your own back? Would you support your vision like you've never supported it before? Would you wake up every day determined to take a step in the right direction? Would you reignite that vision again and again and again? To me, thinking about that, what it really said to me was, you know what? We just don't have the right carrot at the end of that line. We don't have the motivation within us. We've got to get reinvested and dance with the possibilities of the vision and what that vision can bring us. There has got to be an intrinsic motivator that will keep you on track to have even more fun, even more play, even more possibility. Oh my gosh. So one of the people in the chat room said, I would be willing to go into debt to create it and hire everyone to help me. Wow. So if you're willing, because there's $1 million at the end of that, what if that $1 million is possible if you would step out without the guarantee? If you're willing to do it for something, would you be willing to do it for you? Would you be willing to take all of those steps in that direction so that you can have more and more of what you desire? If you're doing it for something outside of you, take that energy and do it for you. Bring it into you and be willing to step into it more and more. You didn't get into this life to come this far. You didn't get into this life to come this far. You came to be in a greater space than you've ever been before. It's your time, my friends. You've got to be willing to reignite that vision. Do this for you. Do this for you first, and then for everything that you can bring to the world. And it doesn't matter what that vision is. I'm telling you, there's somebody out there that will be lit up about your vision. And there will be a time in your future when you will have this conversation with them, where you will talk about how you just about gave up, or you didn't believe in it, or you were judging yourself, or you were comparing yourself, whatever it is. There's somebody out there that you're going to contribute to when you share your story. But first, you got to support your own vision. I would love to hear from you. I would love to get an email. Tell me about your vision. Tell me what you're really willing to say hell yes to every single day for the next year. Be willing to bet on you. Everything is there for you, for the choosing. And be willing to ask these questions and lean into it. My friends, until next week, I want you to remember you can always make another choice. Next week, we're going to be talking about self-care, an important investment for every entrepreneur.
Thank you for choosing to listen to Inspired Choices Show. Christine McIver will return next Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. We hope you'll join us. Until then, be willing to choose what you really desire. This is your life, making the choices that bring you all that you desire.